Hello, America. I'm posting this in hopes to enlighten and speak some truth into some issues. One particular issue that we're facing here in our own backyard in the good old US of A. I want to start by giving you a history lesson. History happened to be one of my favorite subjects when I was in school. I want to take you back to October 15th, 1966. A group was formed in Oakland, California. This was a group that we know today as the Black Panthers. Their purpose was to protect innocent lives from being taken. They were protecting innocent lives from a group that is still around to this day, and we know as the KKK, Ku Klux Klan. This group, the KKK, is responsible for countless murders of innocent people just for being of a different race. These are all hate crimes which are still carried out today. It was in 1968, the then FBI Director, J. Edgar Hoover, declared the Black Panther Party, and I quote, the single greatest threat to national security. The Black Panther Party was the single greatest threat to national security. Let me be honest with you. In all honesty, had there not been a Ku Klux Klan, there would have been no need for a Black Panther Party. Again, this party was formed to protect people from losing their lives. Innocent people. So, the KKK and groups like it, there's numerous, take the white supremacists, the Nazi Party, we remember the Holocaust. That wasn't a pretty picture. The KKK, they hide behind religion in groups like them. But folks, let's call them for what they are. This is not a religious organization. Not by far. Let's call them for what they are, what they've shown themselves to be in the past, and what they continue to show themselves to be as in the present. In light of what you've seen on the news that's happened in Virginia, when groups that teach and practice hate, discrimination, and racism arrive on the scene, mayhem and chaos breaks out. But let's call them for what they are. It's a hate group. And more than that, they are terrorists. It is groups and organizations like this that is poisoning and destroying this country from the inside out. And yet we are so quick to send our fighting men and women, our troops, to these foreign countries to fight terrorists, but we do nothing about the ones in our own backyard. I can't explain that. I really wish I could. Groups like this, like the KKK, the white supremacy group, the Nazi Party, are a threat to national security. How? They are a threat to her people. They are a threat to the American people's rights. For all groups that of this nature that pass down hatred, venom, and poison into youth, to keep this mentality and bitterness around in America, they're nothing but more than terrorists. They're destroying this country inside out. It's an inside job, folks. The rights which they threaten of every American citizen, every American person out there, is this. They're called your inalienable rights. Some call them your God-given rights, and that they are. And they are this: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You ask, so how are they a threat to my rights, those rights? They're a threat to those rights by, if you are of a different race, sexuality, religion, your life is in jeopardy. That is a God-given right. No man on the face of this earth has the right to take another's life for any reason because they didn't give it. These are rights that all Americans are entitled to, regardless race, sexuality, religious orientation. Does not matter. You are entitled to this. Groups like the white supremacists, the KKK, Nazis, these types of groups persecute the rights of American people by denying them life. They will take your life rather than allow you to have it. For what reason? No reason other than you are different. Thus, groups like this should be dismantled, should be banned from rebuilding. This is not a religious group. By no means. They hide behind religion. Just like they hide behind those masks. That is cowards. You hide your face because you're afraid people find out your true identity. That which you've done unto others will be done unto you. That's what you fear. Thus, these groups that want to continue to pass down hate, racism, and discrimination against people, Americans, just for being different. And are willing to go to the extreme as to murder them. These groups and organizations have no place in America. Those involved in such groups which teach such hatred should be charged with treason to their country. They persecute her people for a difference. Folks, we all have one Creator. At the end of the day, we all have to answer to Him. No man. I want to make one thing perfectly clear. And that's that I'm not encouraging no mob fights to go out and start any riots. For God's sakes, no. There's been enough innocent bloodshed. It needs to cease. Too many lives have been taken. I turn on the news and young men and women, younger than myself, being cut down in their prime. And you can't help but wonder, had that not happened, what kind of impact their life would have had on this country and on those people that are in it. Enough is enough. At the same time, though, America, we can't sit idly by. We can't be quiet. We can't let this go unnoticed. We gotta let our voices be heard and let groups that practice this hatred for fellow Americans, regardless of their race, their sexuality, their religion, or whatever they want to pick out that they just want to flat out hate. We gotta let groups like this know that we are united, we stand together, and we're not gonna tolerate this kind of mess anymore. Enough is enough. And quite frankly, when the total dismemberment and the dismantlement of the Black Panther Party took place, that should have been the day that the KKK dismantlement, that should have been the death of the Klan. Then and there. For you see, the men and the women that were in the Black Panther Party, see, the group wasn't just scattered to and fro. No, their lives were taken. They were gunned down. They were murdered because they were a threat to national security. I say groups like the KKK, white supremacists, and Nazi parties are a threat to our nation's security. That's not extreme. Extreme is taking innocent lives because of a difference. It's amazing that this has gone on as long as it has. And to be quite frank with you folks, racism will never be dead in America, in this country, until groups that continue to pass down this hatred for people based upon their race, their sexuality, whatever it may be, is put to an end. And they are not allowed to poison the youth of this great country. To remain silent on these matters, America, is the same as to approve of them. We have to stand up for what we believe. A man, a woman, that is not willing to stand up for that which they believe nothing. Gotta let our voices be heard. And if the people in the Congress and those elected officials we have in office won't do nothing and refuse to do anything concerning these groups, then we must. What can we do? What can we do, America? Simple. There is only one thing that is more powerful than hate. It's love. Love is more powerful than hate. That is the only thing that we have that is capable of bringing down these walls that are being put up. The division in this country. Folks, we must come together in love and in spirit. Despite what race you are, what religion you are, or what your sexual orientation. Because the taking of innocent lives, it's got to stop. I want to leave you with these words from Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. King said, and I quote, "Returning violence for violence multiplies violence, adding a deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. Darkness cannot drive out darkness." And I'm going to hammer this next part. Only love can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. We can't fight fire with fire, America. You only create an even bigger fire. We don't need an inferno. For God's sakes, too many lives has already been lost. Too much innocent blood has been spilled. Right here in our own backyard, not on some battlefield in some foreign country. Young people, you are the future of this nation. I want you to see things for what they really are. I want you to be able to come together and have love for one another. Regardless of race, religion, or one's sexual preference. These are no reason to hate, to discriminate, and to wish that someone's life would come to an end. Just remember this, for the same God that made you, made them also. America. Nelson Mandela put it like this. This is one of my personal favorite quotes. I cannot count on all my fingers and on my toes how many times that I've quoted this. Nelson Mandela said this: hate is taught. To love comes more naturally. It is in the human nature to love, not to hate. Look at your children. They don't know discrimination until it's taught. They can look upon another child that is of a different race, a different religion, and love. We need to take note. It's so easy. It's so simple, it's stupid. So simple, it's stupid. Well, I thank each and every one of you who watched this for your time. And God bless you.